What's up, everybody? Chat with the Artist is back on Tales from the Soundcheck podcast. Today, we've got one of our longtime friends of Dan and mine, Jon Miller. He's one of the guitarists for the death metal band Burying Point.
What's up, man?
What's up, Jon?
Hi. How are you?
Good. How's things on the home front?
Things on the home front is great. Everything is kosher on the East Coast. How's the West Coast treating you?
Sunny days right now. It was raining for 5 fucking months.
Yeah.
It was a little shitty, but felt like Connecticut with the beach. So plus better than the Long Island Sound, but you know.
Well, anything beats the Long Island Sound.
True. Very true. So, dude, we do a thing on this little segment here where we do a shotgun question. So, the question we have for you is, what is the funniest thing you've witnessed while on the road?
Oh, my God. Okay. Holy shit. Fuck, there's some good ones. There's so many good opportunities to, explain so many different stories.
I understand.
All right. So, the funniest thing... All right, hold on. How raunchy can I get? Or does it not matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay. I had to say this is probably a top moment. It has to do with our good friend Lorenzo. Rest in peace. He was our merch guy when I was in Forsaken. And he went on quite a few tours with us. And he went on the very first one where we went all the way to the West Coast, and we hit California and Vegas and all that other good, happy, cool places. But anyways, so it involves him. Again, rest in peace. This one was a great moment. And, if Lorenzo was here to talk about it, him and we would be laughing hysterically because we've done it so many times after tour. It was funny as fuck. But he was fucking heated in the moment. All right, so let's get into it.
I know this story. Totally miss Lorenzo. He was a great dude. One of my best friends for a very long time.
We were out in Cali. Maybe Colorado. I don't know. It was somewhere out there that way. It ended up being a blur. We had a couple shows canceled. So obviously, anyone that is on the road for a first tour, when you have multiple shows cancel in a row, what does that mean? No money. So we were broke as fuck. So Lorenzo was the brokest because he came with no money at all on tour. So we would make Lorenzo do fucked up shit to earn food.
Jesus.
And we didn't have a lot of food to spare. So he was a merch guy, and we're like, yo, whatever tips you get, you can keep 100%. So some shows he would kill it. Some shows he would get no tips. So again, we had 3 shows cancel in a row. He was fucking starving. We barely had enough money. We're like, yo, we went into some place and there was Dairy Queen there. And we all got some Dairy Queen, but we split it. You know what I mean? We got 3 larges and we split it. And Lorenzo's like, yo, I want some fucking Dairy Queen. And we're like, well, fuck you. You don't got no goddamn tip money. So you don't get the fucking Dairy Queen. So we were eating the Dairy Queen, eating it. He's like, yo, what do I got to do to get some Dairy Queen? And we're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then he was, I got to back it up a little bit because he quit smoking. So, all right. So he was, I got to really back it up. He was on tour. Obviously, Cameron and I were straight edge. So we were like, no fucking smoking in the van. If you want to smoke, you got to step out. You got to go out of the van and smoke. You're not fucking smoking in the van. So he ran out of fucking cigarettes. So he would always ask to bum cigarettes. And then he said, you know what? This is a good time for me to quit smoking. I'm around the edge, guys. And I don't have enough money to buy cigarettes. So we made a deal with him. You quit smoking, we'll buy him food or, whatever. But he had to go so many consecutive days without smoking. So this whole story boils down to it. So we got the Dairy Queen. He's sitting there and we're eating it, and I had a little bit left. And he goes, fuck, I want a cigarette. No, I got to use the words of Lorenzo because he would kick my ass if he was here if I didn't use it. He goes, yo, let me get a butt. That was his line. Yo, let me get a butt.
Let me get a butt.
And I was like, no, bro. Like, no, you quit smoking. He's like, yo, you guys are eating fucking Dairy Queen in front of me. Like, I need a butt. And then we're like, all right, you choose Dairy Queen or a cigarette.
Oh,
You get one. You hit your milestone. We'll give you one. You pick one. And he goes, he chose a cigarette. And we were pissed because he went like mad long. I don't really remember all of the story, but this is where it gets nasty. And I took my fucking ass hair and mixed it in the fucking Dairy Queen. I don't know how it led to this, but it did. And he willingly ate it. For what I don't remember the full consequence of whatever it was. Oh, he raced Cameron. He raced Cameron in a race. And that's how we're like, yo, because he was like, yo, he wanted a cigarette. So that's what it was. Fucking Christ. Dude, it's been so many years. I keep forgetting. I'm fucking this all up now.
This is great.
So he lost. He's bet Cameron he could beat Cameron in a race. So they ran a foot race. They ran. Lorenzo got his ass whooped. So that was the deal. Is if he lost, he had to eat the ass hair, pube, nasty, torn, nutsack, taint, fucking smelling ice cream. And he shook on it. And he fucking ate it. And he fucking threw up. And he gagged. And then we went and got him a cigarette because we felt bad. And then we gave him the rest of the other ice cream that he had no idea that was sitting on the fucking other fucking part that was clean. But Lorenzo's my boy, man. We would fucking, after tour, we would sit there and we would laugh about it. It may not be funny to some people, but I mean, listen, man, there's so many funny fucking things that happened out on the road.
It's disgusting, and you've done disgusting things to me, so it's all there. I haven't brought up the story about our recording studio incident.
Oh God.
Yeah, we won't. We'll wait for another time for that because that was fucking horrible, and I had to drive about 2 hours home with my car smelling like shit. So
Oh God,
good times. All right, John. So when I met you, I mean, you were like 17 or 18. We were young.
Yeah.
John was about to be a part of a band or trying out for a band with Colin, who we had on before, and Colin's his current drummer in his current band, Burying Point. You started out in drums. You're a drummer by nature, is everybody that we've talked to on this show so far, which is fucking kind of wild. What made you switch over to guitar?
Okay, so this is where my shotgun answer is going to come into play. I didn't start on drums. I started on
Well, when I met
bass,
you said you were a drummer, John.
but I was a drummer. But I actually started playing bass. So here's the backstory to this.
All right.
So I started playing musical instruments end of 6th grade, 7th grade. And I wanted to try out for these, like, with these cool kids, man. They played fucking punk. And, you know, I wanted to be like that fucking Nirvana guy. You know, they were all playing fucking Nirvana and System of a Down and all this other shit. And I was like, yeah, dude, I want to do that. These guys are cool. Like, we all skateboarded together. They were all in fucking bands but me. And I was like, so I went. I was like, well, bass looks the fucking easiest. It's only got 4 fat-ass strings. I feel like anyone could fucking do that. 2 fucking bass players I'm talking to over here. So I went to Media Play. Fucking Media Play. Remember that?
I do.
Wow, Media Play.
I went to fucking Media Play and I bought one of those starter bass packs with a little shit 10-watt amp. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. I tried out for that fucking punk band. And they didn't fucking take me because they're dicks. So
it happens. I've been there too.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I bought this thing to try and fit in to be fucking cool, and it pissed me off. So I was like, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to get nasty. I'm going to start my own fucking band and have them want to play with me, and then I'm not going to fucking let them play with me. So what did I do? I sat there, I practiced. And I was like, fucking bass is fucking boring. So then I switched to guitar. I'm like, all right, cool. This is a little more challenging.
John just totally took a dump on bass players.
So now I got really good at bass, and then transitioning to guitar was fairly easy because I played bass kind of like you would play a guitar in a sense. And it just came really natural, and I picked it up pretty quick. You know, obviously learning chords and scales, that shit took a while. But then I was like, man, I want to start a band. And a lot of my friends that I hung out with, they didn't have a lot of money, but I wanted to start a band. So I would just convince my mom to fucking buy drums and fucking this, that, and whatever. So I got like a cheap drum set, and it always stayed at my house. So obviously, like, I got curious, and I started playing around with it. And then, you know, if anyone's a natural musician, you just pick shit up fucking quick, and that's why I started playing it. And I've always loved playing drums, and then started just getting better and better and better at it. And then, you know, obviously I chose guitar because I'm a cocky fuck, and I like to be fucking front and center on stage and people to fucking see me. And, you know, so.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's John and I were always on the opposite ends of the stage, actually.
I don't like playing next to anybody on the fucking stage.
John always liked playing on his own side, and he had to be on stage right. It was the thing.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yep, go fuck yourself. Yeah, that was the way it was. Hey, John, I'm gonna walk. He would let you walk on the other side of the stage. You could hit a monitor near him, but your amp, your stuff, that was his side, his house. So, but it's always been a good time. I was in a band with John in Forsaken. We've talked about Forsaken a lot. We've had Jake on, who was a bass player for Forsaken. We're going to have some other members from Forsaken on. It's not the centerpiece of the show, but it's part of my experience and part of John's. And John, some of your other experience, we've been together. John and I were in a band called APH. The band was called A Perfect Honesty. It was kind of a metalcore band in the mid 2000s, 2006, 2007. We had a lot of fun. John, what is some of your memorable moments with that band? Because I've got quite a few, I could say.
You're fucking really reeling it back. Jesus Christ.
We could talk about Jesus Fest if you want. You want to talk about Jesus Christ?
That's obviously a top contender, which I was going to say that for my lap. Dude, Jesus Fest, I swear to God, me and Johnny were just talking about this shit the other day. Jesus Fest was the absolute most savage fucking show I have ever played in my life. Now, let me tell you, I know you guys know, but for everyone that's going to be listening to this, I've played on some pretty fucking sick shows. I'm talking Stick to Your Guns, The Ghost Inside, The Acacia Strain, fucking As Blood Runs Black, you name it. I've played with a lot of big fucking name bands. The list goes on and on and on and on. So I played a lot of sick shows. But Jesus Fest, now I played Jesus Fest 1 and 2 in 2 different bands. Both of those shows were fucking wild. They were so fucking violent. Now, it was only, for everyone listening, it was only called Jesus Fest because it was held in a church. And whoever booked the show, it was one of those kids from Cromwell. I forgot who it was that booked the show. And
was it Greasy?
No. It was not Greasy. It was one of those. It was basically just a nobody just throwing on a show. You know what I mean? It's not that they were a nobody. But,
their parents went to that church.
Something like that. And, the pastor said we can do it as long as it's like a Christian type show. So
and Forsaken the Sky was playing.
So we're like, fuck it. Dude. Let's just name this fucking thing Jesus Fest. Throw a bunch of fucking violent bands in this fucking thing and just see what happens. So the first one, let me tell you, now both you guys have been in a fucking church, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The fucking place is huge. Like the
they
floor.
Attended both of them and played the first one with you in APH.
It was like Okay, for people that maybe that don't, I mean, I've only been to a couple of churches before, but we're not gonna get into that.
This church had a communal area that wasn't the actual, I guess.
It was the size of a gymnasium at like an elementary.
Yeah, with a stage.
With a stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was big.
So
Did
that's
Margot
what you can
play
use
that show?
Possibly.
Either of those? I can't remember.
Who?
Margot.
No.
It might have been after their time.
No. Because we played shows with Margot, but Margot did not play that. I'm 99.9%.
I'm thinking of a different church show then. I don't think I went to Jesus Fest.
Yeah. Oh, you would have remembered it if you did.
I'm sure I would have.
So now everyone has a comparison. It was about the size of an elementary school gymnasium. Okay. Fucking place was packed. Front to back, side to side, shoulder to shoulder. Like a fucking... Now, again, but this is a local show. So, like, that was pretty impressive for a local show, for us being, fucking nobodies. You know what I mean? Like, barely nobodies. No one knew who the fuck we were, but it drew a crowd, and the first band went on, and the fucking floor just opened up. Opened the whole fucking place up. And the pastor and, all the staff members were trying to stop the dancing, and someone did a fucking wall of death, and someone got fucked up. Like, that was wild. Like, it was crazy. And then I think this is more Jesus Fest 2 than Jesus Fest 1. I'm kind of, all right. Well, anyways, I know you asked about APH, so I'm not going to get going with Jesus Fest, so I'll stick to the main question, I guess. So with APH, yeah, it was, Jesus Fest was probably hands down APH's best show. Hands down, easy.
Some of them I've lost memory of. But...
Yeah, me too. But you know what I gained from APH as a musician was I gained a lot of knowledge on the do's, the don'ts, and the rights and the wrongs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It kind of made me realize, like, oh shit, we probably should be doing stuff more like this. And APH was a great stepping stone, because we did play, it was like the first band really that I was in that would travel the state and play shows rather than just play like local fucking stupid shit like 2 towns over at a fucking...
Well, we talked about it with Colin, how we played that old Lay's potato chip factory that was like a black-lit office building with one other band in the middle of the winter somewhere in Massachusetts.
Oh, I fucking remember that, dude. The fucking staircase was like 3 stories high or some shit like that.
And it was like half of it was missing. You had to like skip steps and stuff. We were bringing up like Ampeg 810s and shit or something like that up the stairs and half stacks and racks and drums, and it's just
terrible.
Yeah, I forgot about this. See, like, that's what I'm saying. It was so long ago, I kind of forget until someone like joggles my mind, and but yeah, APH was a good stepping stone for me, really, and good times in APH. A lot of lost memories, but I still remember the roots to it. Believe it or not, since APH was more of a metalcore thing, starting up like a metalcore project with some friends, it's going to be pretty sick to bring it back to like the roots and write some like 2007, 2008 style metalcore like riffage.
I could say, from talking to everybody in that band, everybody still talks to each other. We could probably redo some of those songs at some point, which would be really cool.
Actually, funny thing is we actually got Rushin to do fucking vocals for this little side project we got going on.
I remember the time that we were recording, and he had some nut surgery going on in the beginning of that recording, and he killed it.
He fucking killed it.
Yeah, we recorded an EP. He had a testicle surgery the night before or something like that. Came in and just blew that recording studio apart.
God damn. So John,
yes,
what was or is like your current favorite guitar?
My favorite guitar?
Yeah.
Or current guitar, or both?
Both, whether it's one you have or one you hope to have.
Well, I have my favorite guitar, which is my current guitar. which I've had his models before, which I love, by the way. What it is I play the ESP Stephen Carpenter from the Deftones signature model, 7-string, 607B. It's a baritone. This one here is the satin purple. The color is fucking fire. It has Fishman fluences on it. The fucking guitar is sweet.
Hell yeah.
It really is. I had his 8-string model years ago, and that was my first model that I had from him. It's just phenomenal to play. Like, I'm an ESP guy through and through. I've owned ESPs for the last 15 fucking years. I actually bought recently a Solar to try it out.
Hell yeah.
Fucking that guitar is sweet as hell too, man. Like, that guitar really is. You know, it's pretty close to an ESP. You know, feeling wise, don't knock on Solar, man. Like, those guitars are fucking sweet.
I've been considering one of their baritones for sure.
Yeah, like, listen, you know, great quality for the price. Like, you know, you can buy one of their Solars in a 7-string with an Evertune for like $1,200, man. Like,
which is ridiculous because the Evertune by itself, without installation, is like $400.
Yeah, you know, their guitars. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't really trust the Evertune yet. Like, I know, like, the other guitar player, Kanan and Bearing Point, plays with a Solar with Evertune. He's never had any issues with it. But for me, I'd rather not spend the extra money. It takes me 30 seconds to fucking tune. I'm old school. If you set your guitar up correctly, properly, you have the right strings, the right tension, and all that happy horse shit, your guitar is going to stay in tune. I'm not paying another $500 for fucking Evertune. So, like, my Solar was $700.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's the same thing as Kanan's. Same pickups, same everything.
And
different
that's
body.
Like hip shot bridge and stuff, right? Locking tuners.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has everything you need.
It does. So that guitar is sweet. I've had a bunch of ESPs. I've had EC 1000s. Those are cool. Actually, I just picked up a 6-string. Just came in today. ESP M1000 or M1004, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know.
Fair
it's
enough.
Cool.
What's your current live rig like?
I got 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
Live rig, I've been kind of tampering more. I bounce back and forth. So I'll get into both. My first show with Bearing Point, I went with the PV 3120 head.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that.
I haven't played one, but I'm familiar.
Okay, so what it is it's if the Valve King and the JSX fucked and had a baby, it made the 3120.
That sounds awesome.
It's different, okay? I like a very different guitar tone than a lot of other guitar players. I like a lot of mid to low end range. All right, I'm a rhythm guitar player. So in my eyes, number one, I'm not a lead. I don't play lead. I've never played a lead. So in my eyes, as a rhythm guitar player, I need to accent the bass. And I need to keep the heaviness and the beef as a rhythm guitar player. So I like my tone to be beefy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the
Chef Boyardee shit.
So the 3120 really, really, really complements with the low end shit. I had a 5150 EVH, brand new one. I had the EVH 3. I bought it. I played on it. I fucking hated it.
I've been hearing that a lot.
Sounded like shit. I was like, fuck this. You know what I mean? For the money, like, I don't really like it. Now, I'm going to probably get a lot of shit for this. A lot of guitar players are going to be like, John, you're fucking stupid. Like, what do you mean? Like, the EVH 5150 is fucking sweet. Yeah, well, fucking to you. Not to me. Okay? I had an Angle. Okay? I played on that. I liked it. I digged it. It was okay for the tone that I like. Now, everyone says, John, you got to get it with fucking pedals and this, that, whatever. You got to do all this other stupid shit. Not really into that. Okay, so my rig, I got the 3120 head. Okay, it's a 120 watt head. Fucking thing cranks, dude. Jesus. Like, it really does. Sounds good. I run an EQ. I'm trying to think. So I'm getting both of my fucking rigs mixed up here. Nope, I don't run it. I had an EQ on it, and I took it off because it made it. It didn't clarify it too much. It made it too mushy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I run a noise gate, and I run a NS2 Boss noise gate, and then I run another noise gate through the effects loop to kind of quiet down the head a little bit because the head is a little noisy.
I mean, 120 watts, yeah.
Yeah, so I use that to quiet it down a little bit. And then I have TS808 Tube Screamer.
Cool.
It's all right. I'm more like a raw tone kind of guy. It's it sounds good. I use a wireless in my rack setup and everything too. So, that's my live rig. I played with that live, and it sounds fucking good. I got a lot of compliments on my tone, and of course, people are coming up to me like, "What the fuck is that head?" I'm like, dude, this is a hidden gem, bro. Like, don't knock on it. Like, I played with this shit for years back in the day, and like, no one knew what it was. And the tone that comes out of that thing is phenomenal. Some might like it, some might not. For a live rig, it's fucking phenomenal for heavy music. It really is. Like, you cannot go wrong with it. I will choose that head over a 6505 in angle. I contemplated going back to an angle, and I just, this head just does right for me for live settings. So I got that. And then I have an Axe Effects as well.
Okay.
I tinker with that live. I actually use this to record my guitar tone on the EP, was my Axe Effects, which is pretty sweet. You guys know anything about Axe Effects?
Never used one, but yeah, I they've been around long enough. I've nerded out on YouTube, diving into it a little bit.
Dude, the Axe Effects is sick. I can make any fucking thing I want on this thing. It's just wild. I like it more as like a recording purpose than a live setting. I've played with it quite a few times, at practice, and I was going to use it live, but I was having some issues with it, ground cable or some stupid shit like that, so I just didn't trust it in a live setting. My unit, I didn't trust my unit because I was having technical difficulties with it, but it's sweet, man. Like, you can literally take like one of my patches that I have made. I have a Mesa triple rec and an Angle Powerball, I think, and then you can choose like what cab you want it to sound like it's going through, individual speakers. It has everything on it already. You just go to the effects, you can add a noise gate, you can add graphic EQs, you can add anything you want, delay, it has a pitch shifter on there, so if you want to use it to as like a drop tune, you can. It's wild. And like, if you have a good power amp to run with it, so like I run the Rocktron 150 watt power amp with it. It's all you need. The fucking thing screams, man, and the tones that come out of that is just amazing. And again, I like it more so for recording purposes because it's tight. You can just adjust it just a little bit, and like it's perfect playback every time. And you can customize it so much. You can make it come out of any goddamn speaker you want. So it's cool. It's a fun thing to have. I'm lucky and fortunate enough, to have two rigs. If I ever were to tour again, I would probably bring the Axe Effects because I could just not bring a cab and just plug in to, their speakers directly as like a DI out. It's super compact and easy to use and easy to carry around, so that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
They slap.
They do.
I want one for my bass just for funsies.
They have a lot of bass cabs on there too. A lot of bass shit. A lot of heads.
So, give us the history of how Bearing Point came to be. Like, who contacted who?
Oh, this is a good one.
What was like the influence behind like your current music, all that shit.
All right, this is a fucking great one. Josh, the bass player, he made a comment, post on Facebook, and he was like something. I don't know the exact words. It's something along the lines of, "Fuck music. I should just sell all my equipment. Blah 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 blah. Finding reliable people to play with sucks," or whatever the fuck he said. Something along those lines. I can't remember exactly.
I think I remember that post.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
So I commented on it, and I was like, "Dude, don't do it. You'll regret it. I sold all my shit when I left Forsaken, and I regret it to this day. And he goes, why don't you just get back into it? And I was like, nah, that's a thing of my past. It's been too long since I played, blah, 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 blah. He goes, yo, we should start a band. I was like, bro, what? And then he like tags Kanan, and he's like, yo, we should start a band. And they were like, fuck yeah, that'd be sweet. And then I was like, oh, well, who are we going to have as a drummer? And they tagged Colin. And this is all going on like Facebook, like in a status.
Just going on your feed in real time.
Yeah. And then, I was like, guys, I haven't played in like fucking 10 years. I don't even own a piece of equipment. And they're like, Josh is like, it's like riding a bike, dude. You pick it back up. And I was like, well, I don't have a guitar and I can't really afford a guitar right now. And he goes, I have one. You can just use it and buy it off me if you want, or just buy your own when you have money. So I used it, and I didn't have a rig or anything. I was like, well, let me just make sure I can fucking play this shit first. Went back. Obviously, what do you do in that situation? I went and played all Forsaken shit, since that's, the EP that I fucking wrote and helped write. And we, just second nature, I guess. And went, played it, and I was like, fuck yeah. So we went to Kanan's spot, and he had a bunch of amps and shit there, and it was just like knocking the fucking rust off. Colin had to knock some rust off too. It's been a while since he played. And it started off as like a fucking Facebook status joke, and here we are 2 years later, fucking pumping out music.
Playing live.
Uh-huh.
That's dope. Caught a part of that first set that you guys played in April.
Yeah.
And you guys are heavy as fuck. It's cool to see. It's cool to see Colin was super happy to be behind a drum kit again with some lights on his face. And
yeah, it was nice. We had some technical difficulties with the intro and the first song. Nothing so much of our error, more so the venue, but it is what it is. It happens. No one's ever going to know unless we were to go and tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you just disclosed it, so.
Yeah, I did. I just disclosed it.
There you go. You outed everybody. Y'all fucked up.
Yeah, the monitors were horrible at the show. Like,
that sucks.
Oh my god, man. The fucking amps were turned up way too loud. So like I couldn't hear the other side of the stage. The monitors that were there didn't even fucking work.
Just
or
aesthetic.
If they did, they were not powerful enough to hear over our rigs.
Oh
which
no.
sucks, because if you're miking us up, you shouldn't turn your rig up that high, but whatever. So obviously, what happens. I couldn't hear Kanan. Kanan couldn't hear me. Colin couldn't hear shit. You can play to a click all you want when you get live. Everything always speeds up when you play live, unless you're actually playing with a set of in-ears. It's very hard to keep the correct time because everyone always plays a tad bit faster, I feel like.
Especially too, you guys, it's your first time back up. You got the adrenaline, everything's blood's pumping.
I mean, listen, we played everything great. Everything went perfect after that. We had the sound guy flip one of the monitors up so Colin can hear a little bit better. Me and Kanan couldn't really hear jack shit, but we made it happen. You know what I mean? We just couldn't move as much on stage. We had to just watch each other's hands constantly from across the stage to make sure we're all playing the correct parts. But listen, man, done this a million times before. It's like walking in a fucking park. You know what I mean? It came right back to us. And, everything sounded great on the first show. We got the reaction we wanted. We had a great crowd. The venue was great besides that fucking little mishap. Obviously the fans were fucking awesome. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. It looked great. Hopefully people can see more of your shows. Before we start wrapping up, tell everybody about the band, what style of band. We've mentioned it's death metal. You've mentioned a few other people, Kanan, who's involved, and Josh. They've been in other bands in Connecticut. Some people might know who they are. Kanan was in Beneath the Gallows.
I played with them back in the day.
Yeah. Josh is a incredible bass player. So if you ever see him play, give him a wedgie for me. That'd be lots of fun. John can do it. He's very good at that. But yeah, let us know kind of quickly, what the influence is? What were you guys looking for when you guys had that chat off that post?
Um,
Was it just natural, or was it just something that everybody just kind of talked about?
it went back and forth. And, I'll keep it kind of short and sweet. We still discuss this shit to this goddamn day because we're writing a new song. Influences change constantly, but obviously we want to be fucking heavy. And I like to promote a lot of fucking violence at our shows, at all the bands I've been in. I want to see someone get knocked the fuck out in the pit. If I don't see that, I'm not happy. So I like heavy, violent fucking music. So I was really going off of something like that. A lot of the bands that came up and play that we would talk about in the chat when we first started were, Salt Wound, uh, Strangled was a big one. Body Snatcher was a big one. Uh, there's so many influences that I can say. All the heavy hitters, Carnifex obviously was we like to go off of that. And I'm not really a hardcore guy. That's more of like a Freddy deal. There's been a lot of hardcore influence as well. I don't know the names of the bands because I don't really follow hardcore music. I'm more of a deathcore kind of guy. But yeah, those were probably the top influences for us. We just wanted heavy, beat down, slam style shit, and hopefully we accomplish that.
I think you're at the beginning of a journey of hurting people.
I like that.
Immense pain.
Yeah. I've seen Jon maybe accidentally take some folks out in pits. Jon has saved my life quite a few times in pits of me acting a fool. I've seen his huge hands grab people and throw them out of the way, which is much appreciated. Jon, before we let you go, man, you got some shows coming up or a show coming up? Any new releases? Where can we find you guys? Where can they listen to you?
Yeah, man, we got a show coming up July 22nd. We are playing Band Dan Summer Metal Festival. Looks like it's going to be a great time, man. There's like 10 bands on the bill. It's at the Cellar on Treadwell in Hamden. I've never been there before. It's just a new place for me.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Treadwell Ave, huh? That's where the space is located.
You know what? Maybe it's the old space.
That would be awesome if they brought it back because that building's been vacant for a while.
Yeah,
it would make sense as the Cellar because the space was sub basement.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. I'm putting these puzzle pieces together.
Yeah, lots of other bands on there.
They're
never heard of any of them. Hopefully, they're all good. I'm sure they're all good.
Yeah, I've never heard. Listen, I've been out of the local scene for a long time. The scene has really changed. There's a lot of new bands, new faces. Listen, man, I'm an old head. No one knows who the fuck I am anymore. You know what I mean? So
I know the feeling.
Old bones, man. Hey, just pushing 40 here, so it's getting old. But yeah, dude, I'm stoked that you guys are doing what you're doing. I support it.
We got some new music coming out soon. We're in the process of writing. So expect some new tunes soon. Obviously, if you come to our shows, you'll be a witness of seeing the new music before they are released, which would be fucking cool. And we have a couple other big shows that are in the works. I can't say right now because I don't have them locked down, and I'm not going to because that's just unprofessional. But yeah, we have some shows in the works currently. New music. We're actually dabbling up some sweet merch designs right now. We have a couple shirts in the works. So stay tuned for that. Check us out on Spotify, Bearing Point. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Bearing Point, Connecticut. All the views, all the people listening. We obviously can't do this shit without the fans, without people supporting us, following us. You know how that goes, man. So we can't do it without you, but we do it for you type of deal. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, if you're in New England, Connecticut, anywhere, take a drive. If you're in Massachusetts, drive to Connecticut on the 22nd of July. You know, throw your weight around in a pit and make Jon happy. It'll mean a lot.
It will. It will.
Jon, man, it's been awesome. We're stoked to finally get this to work. We've been working at trying to get you on for
a lot
quite a bit.
Technical difficulties on my end, but hey, we fucking nailed it this time.
Absolutely, yeah. And hopefully we can get the whole band on at some point. That would be really sick.
That'd be sweet.
And at some point in the future, Dan and I will definitely try to do some type of live vlog at one of your live shows, wherever you guys are. If it's in the New England area, or if I can catch you out here, which would be totally cool. But yeah, dude, it's been awesome. I'm really stoked we got to talk to you.
Yeah, man. Pleasure to be here. It was fucking sweet, kicking back some memories. You guys really fucked me up on some of them.
we try.
Yeah, man. It was good talking music. We'll have to, do like a gear sesh or something one time and talk about some fucking gear, because I love gear. Josh
oh yeah,
too. You got to get him on.
We've got plenty of different types of gear episodes that in the works, so
Sweet,
we'll definitely have you on for one of those.
All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. Again, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Chat with the Artist on Tales from the Soundcheck podcast. If you'd like to hear more of Burying Point's music, check them out live. Look them up on Instagram at Burying Point CT. Find them on Facebook, or go listen to their music on Spotify, searching Burying Point. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Tales from the Soundcheck podcast. Spotify allows you to listen to the show, follow us, and rate the show, which actually helps us to become an ever better podcast.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for full episodes and exclusive clips. If you have any comments or want to chat with us on the show, or you have your band featured, please email us at talesfromthesoundcheckpodcast@gmail.com.
As always, we want you to hear new music. This is a track from Burying Point's newest EP release, The Hell We Seek, and the track is called Unmaker. Enjoy.
Nothing remains. Closing the borders to death. Don't